Hello, folks. I'm David, and this is From the Hip podcast, being done at the Say What podcast studio. And with me today, I have the beautiful Whitley.
That's me.
She is our local DFW model, and we want to find out about her journey today.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here.
Of course, it's my pleasure.
We've been trying for 2 months now.
Yes. Time just gets the best of us sometimes. I'm happy to be here now. It worked out perfectly.
So what have you been doing today?
So today, I actually had a meetup here at the Covenant Studio in Hearst, and I had 6 models, 6 photographers. It was probably my biggest one I've done so far, but it seemed to go very smooth. Everyone was happy. I kept checking in, so I'm happy with how it went.
Well, how about the cosplay you did 2-3 months ago?
Yes, so that one, I did an evolution shoot, which in Pokemon, there's like this little Pokemon called Eevee, and it turns into all kinds of things. So, that one was my biggest one, but that one was just more for fun rather than business. But it's still, there was 9 models, 9 photographers. It was pretty cramped in here, but we made it work, and I loved it. It was so fun. Yeah, that was that was about around Christmas, I think, last year.
Was it that long ago?
I know. Yeah, it was. It's crazy. Time's just fleeting.
So, I don't really know you.
Yeah, I know.
So, why is that?
Why is that, David? What the heck?
You've been in the studio lots of times.
Many times.
We've said hi in passing. Mm-hmm. So we know each other.
Cordial, yeah.
But don't know each other.
Right.
So,
what do you want to know about me?
Where were you born?
I was actually born here. I was born in this studio. No. I was born in DFW. I've been in Fort Worth my whole life. So the plan is one day maybe to move north, just somewhere more chilly, more mountainous and stuff. But been a Texas girl my whole life.
Okay. So you grew up here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Went to school here.
I did.
Where'd you go?
Schools. I went to, I have 4 older brothers, and they all went to Burleson High School. So I've lived in Fort Worth, Burleson area my whole life. I actually went to the Centennial High School. That's where I graduated. And then I graduated from TCC with an associate's degree that I do nothing with. But I have it just in case.
What was the degree in?
It was just the Associate of Arts. It's
okay.
Which I guess is fitting because I do a lot of artsy creative stuff now, but
right.
Doesn't do anything for me, but I have it. My parents told me to get a degree, so that's what I did.
Okay.
But I was always back and forth with like jobs that I wanted to do. I wanted to be in, in medical, and then I wanted to be using math and all this stuff. And then why would I do that when I could?
You like math?
I actually do. I really like algebra. I really do like numbers. But then when I got into calculus, all gone.
I like math.
I do too.
And my little brother was a whiz at math.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
He
had a competition.
He could do math in his head. Seriously.
Yeah, that stuff's hard.
Complicated math. As fast as you could do it on a calculator.
That's a gift, really.
His IQ was 179.
Oh, my gosh.
He was a brilliant man.
That's insane. I need an IQ test. Maybe not, though. I don't want to be
And people say, what happened to me?
No. Whatever.
Mine wasn't as high as his, but it's not too bad.
I think you're smart.
But
maybe not math.
You don't know me well enough.
Okay, well, tell me all these things about you.
Well, I'm not as smart as you might think.
Hey, me too. This dye seeps in pretty far in the brain.
So, what all careers have you been in?
Okay, well, I've mainly been in retail and like service industry stuff my whole life. So, my first job was Hot Topic, which, can you believe it? It's like this super goth store in the mall. And that was my first job at 16. And then, so that's just a clothing retail. And then I did cashiering at this Mexican restaurant in Burleson called Fresco's. I was there for 7 years, and I probably never would have left, but thankfully I did. And so...
so you know David?
David, yeah, the owner.
Yeah, one of the owners.
Yeah, David and Reagan, and then Larry. Larry was the one that no one ever knew. He was like a ghost. So when Larry came to
he was the accountant, behind the scenes guy.
Larry was? Yeah. See, I didn't even know that because he, like, anytime, but he was so nice, but every time he would come to the store, everyone was very scared of him. But yeah, David was great, and same thing. Like everyone was so like warded off with David because he just seemed so like just scary. But then I would talk to him, and once people would say hi, he would just perk up because he's just like, oh my gosh, people are acknowledging me for once. But
David is more introverted.
Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah. That makes sense because I would talk to him and he'd perk up, but I feel like a lot of times people left him alone because he just seemed like he was the boss. No one wanted to get in trouble, so they just kind of avoided him.
So you were there 7 years.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I literally did like every single position.
Did you ever meet a manager that was about 6'6", 6'7", tall,
Not that
good-looking guy?
I don't know. Who was that?
His name was Tyler.
I didn't work with a Tyler, no. I'm surprised I didn't. I would know if I saw a 6'7" man. That's crazy. I never.
Well, he said 6'6", but in high school when we were measuring him, he was over 6'6".
That's crazy. So
That's
now
not-
he's shorter.
No,
Oh, no.
he's my oldest son.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. What are the chances? So, wait, he managed at the Frescoes in Burleson?
Well, he managed the one they had in Watauga,
Okay, that's probably why I never
but
saw
he
him.
would occasionally go out to
I wonder.
to Burleson.
I'm sure I saw him. I just never probably introduced myself or knew that he was part of our realm.
How long ago?
That I worked there. It's been like 4 or 5 years now because it's been about 5 years because I remember when I left Frescoes, that's when I started my modeling journey because I took a year off from after that and I kind of I had some savings to live off of for a while, so I really like pushed all in on modeling TFP and getting my portfolio built. And then it's very hit or miss unless you travel a lot. So I do it part-time on weekends, Wednesdays, and then I bartend now on Monday, Thursday, Friday. And then I stream Tuesday, Thursday. All my days are accounted for.
Do what on Tuesday, Thursday?
I stream
Okay.
on Twitch, yeah. So I do that every Tuesday, Thursday night. But yeah, now I'm bartending at Torchy's, which is another taco place. I can't get rid of tacos. I just can't.
Where we're at?
That one's in Fort Worth.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's really, really fun, and my management is so awesome. I was supposed to go to the one in Burleson, but once it was ready, I was like, I don't want to leave. I was only there for a month, and I just fell in love with the place. I fell in love with all the workers, so I'm there still, 2
Well-
years now.
Back to Fresco's.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big Mexican food eater,
Shame on you.
but they have the best, bar none, I thought,
What?
Mexican food.
Just all over? No, they're good. Like, I really do like their Tex-Mex a lot, and it's funny because I would bring food home all the time, and my parents were like, how are you not sick of it? I was like, there's just so many options. Like, the brisket tacos were my absolute favorite. The quesadillas, it's just so good. It's so fresh,
I love their stuffed pepper.
I never we didn't have that at our location. Oh, wait, the Rianos?
Yeah.
Rianos, yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about, yeah. I was thinking of like an appetizer. I was like, why didn't we have those? No, those were good, and they took them away for a little bit. Everyone was raging about it.
Well, they sold the Watauga store.
I thought they did. Oh, they did sell it? And
Yeah.
the Highland shut down during COVID, I thought.
Right, Highland shut down.
Yeah.
They sold a couple of years ago, I guess it was, the Watauga store, which was close to us.
Right.
And if we were going to eat Mexican, that's where we went.
It's good, yeah.
It was really good.
I really do like it. The only thing is everyone would rave about the queso, and I was like, I don't know. It was just basic for me a little bit, but everything else was so good. That's why I was so sad that the queso was just kind of like subpar to my taste. But Torchy's, I'm like all about that one.
Well, see, I'm not a queso eater,
Ah, David!
but the salsa,
That one was good.
now I understood they roasted
Oh, yeah.
250 pounds of tomatoes a day.
So much. Yeah, I remember walking in, and it'd be like super early, and they're just like
Tomatoes
plastered
everywhere?
all over the grill, and they'd be smoking it up. Yeah, but that's why they're so good, though. I loved it. I love that
And-
smokiness of it. Yeah,
My wife loves their corn.
their street corn, like
Yeah.
and the esquites, the cream corn, all of that stuff is so good. I know, and sometimes that's the only reason I miss it is because I was like that food. I got it on discount.
Did, now I'm having
Brain fart.
a brain fart, a
It
big one.
happens. It's okay.
Yeah.
What's the
Right.
next question? What else do you want to know about me?
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
Are you
Why do you
married?
think of that one? I'm not. No, not yet. I mean, well, honestly, Tyler and I, my boyfriend, so he and I have, we've known each other since we were 15 years old, and I'm 27 now. And so I've been in love with this guy since I was like, late middle school. And we would talk all the time. We grew up in the same town our whole life, had only met each other like 3 times within 8 years, I think. And I mean, because I was just always such a wuss. So I was just saying, oh, I'm busy. I can't hang out today. Like, I was just a wuss. So I met him like 3 times over that span of years. And finally, like, we were just both single at the same time. And so we've been dating for about 4 years now. We're just not really interested in getting married. It just doesn't, like, we don't see a purpose in it
Now-
for us.
is it we are not interested?
Yeah.
Or he's not interested?
Both. It's both. We've talked about it before because I don't really like, if he wanted to make me a wife, cool. I just like the title. I think it's cute saying, like, I'm a wife. But I can just say that if I wanted to. But, no, I don't know. It's just, I feel like, we're together and we're happy and it's just, that's how we are. We just leave it at that.
Well, now, were you the popular kid in high school?
No, not at all. I mean, so I was friends with a lot of people, but I was a weird kid, and I made myself the weird kid. Like, I was super, super emo, which is just like you wear all black, got the smoky eye makeup, super dramatic, like sad, sad little girl, and like nothing was really wrong in my life. I mean, I was an angsty teenager, so it's just like I was kind of an outcast, but I kind of made myself that way. But I was so
Intentionally or accidentally?
both, I guess. I guess intentionally. Like, I got a lot of inspiration from like Tumblr and just social media and stuff, and Instagram in the early days. And I would just see all these other little sad girls, and I was like, oh, that's so cute. Like, kind of just thing. And I don't know. I just kind of fed into that, and so I just became a little outcast, and that was my thing. But it kind of led me onto my alternative journey of all my tattoos and piercings and crazy blue hair. I've dyed my hair colors since I was like 15, so that's always been a thing. But I mean, I still got along with a lot of the like preppy popular kids, and they would pick on me, but then like I knew that like we were cool. So it's like I don't know. I would feel I wasn't popular, but I mean, a lot of people, I knew like everybody. I grew up with everybody from town, since elementary, so I don't know. It's like they saw all my stages and they're just like, she's getting weird. Like,
What's she going to do next?
Yeah, exactly. They're like, what's her next step? Yeah.
Let's talk about the blue hair.
Okay, what about it? It's natural. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Don't look at my roots.
I was sorry to say, I can tell. from
Don't look
here.
at them. Yeah, no, I love it. I've dyed my hair colors, again, since I was 15. I used to do it myself, and it would be like every 2 weeks I would do it, and so it would get really, really fried and really unhealthy. So I finally started going to a professional, and I dyed my hair blue about the same time I started dating my boyfriend Tyler. And I was like, what color should I do next? And he's like, oh, well, I've always wanted to date a girl with blue hair. So I was like, okay. And then that's when I also, around the time I started my modeling. And so, like, I liked the blue. I hadn't done, like, full blue in a while, so I just kind of kept it. And now I just, like, I feel like I can't get rid of it. It's, like, part of my brand now. Everybody knows, like, the blue-haired girl's me, And it makes it easier for him to find me in stores. Like, I can't.
Do you dye your eyelashes?
Oh no, my eyebrows. So I bleached them one time, but my eyebrows are very thin, so I look crazy if I do it. So I did them blue one time, and it just makes
They
me
look blue now.
So I do makeup, I do eyeshadow, and I just draw them on every day, so that they don't look. Yeah. So my natural brows are still brown, because if I bleach them, I just look like I have nothing. Just eyebrowless crazy.
Well, the blue hair. Now, all transparency and honesty.
Yes.
I never looked at you until just here a couple of months ago.
Right. I know. We talked
I just
about
took in the whole person.
it. Yeah.
And the blue hair just turns me off.
Threw you off for a little bit, right?
And it still does.
That's okay. It's not for everyone.
It's not.
I know.
And I've seen you, though, with your wigs.
Oh, I know.
And, like your blonde wig.
Mm-hmm. Oh, everyone loves the blonde.
I saw a shot. I said, she is beautiful.
They're like, why didn't she do that? I know.
Yes, exactly.
What is she doing?
Just wear the wig. You don't change the color.
I know, right? And I've even thought about that. I thought about dyeing my hair a normal color again, and then just getting like a blue wig. But I love it. I really do, and I don't have the strength to change it yet. So, but I think if I do it again, I'll either go blonde for a little bit, and then I'll just go back dark brown. But that's the beauty of wigs, is so for people that aren't into the blue hair, I'm like, hey, I have normal colored hair if you want that, because I get it. It's not for everyone. It's a style, it's a choice. Yeah. So.
But you're right. It is your brand.
Right.
Now.
I know. That's why I'm like, I can't ever dye my hair. Like, so many people will message me and they're like, tell me before you dye your hair, because like I need one last shoot with the blue hair. And I'm like, I have wigs. Like, it's fine. I was like, I could probably get a wig that looks better than my actual hair, but we won't talk about that.
Well, yeah, let's not do that. So what got you into the tattoos?
Again, I was just a little angsty kid. I just wanted to be alternative and stand out. And, it's like one of those things where people are like, I hate when people stare at me, but I'm going to get all this stuff all over me and where people can't help but stare. It, like, makes no sense. But as I've grown up, like, I just really appreciate the art. I think it just looks really cool on bodies. It just kind of is like accessories in a way. I kind of describe them as accessories or...
But you can't change them.
That's true. And sometimes I do. I don't really regret any of my tattoos, but there are some times I'm just like, I wish I had just waited, because I probably would have gone a different route with things. Like, there's a bunch of tattoos people have that are like bodysuits, and so they have like a whole theme throughout their whole body. But again, like, I kind of like my system too, because I have on my left side, it's all black and gray, and so it's all like spooky stuff.
Like what stuff?
Spooky.
Spooky.
It's like spooky and...
Your Halloween leg.
Pretty much, yeah. I have like Cerberus. I have a 3-eyed raccoon. I have this little plague doctor and stuff. So, and then on my right side, I have all colorful, pretty, like all of it's Japanese inspired. I'm a huge anime nerd. I love the Japanese culture. I love like everything. I haven't been to Japan yet, but it's on the list. So I kind of have like a yin-yang balance with it. So I kind of like how I've come together, I still have plenty of surface area to cover, so I won't touch my face. Don't
please.
worry, I will not. I will not touch the face.
I was never a fan of tattoos.
Yeah.
Okay, never have been.
Yeah.
I tolerate them.
Right. That's how my parents are.
And that only happened when I got sober.
Really?
Yeah.
So what, you liked them before then?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, if you had
you tolerated them afterwards.
if you had a tattoo before I got sober, I knew what type of person you were. I wanted nothing to do with you.
Fair enough. We're not the Yakuza, I promise.
When I got sober,
Yeah.
I had some good friends. We had one up here doing a podcast a while ago.
Nice.
He's got full sleeves.
Right.
And I got to know him.
You're like, oh, you're not a hoodlum.
And, well, he really is. But,
No! Dang it.
well, I'll let you be the judge.
Fair. Okay.
He's never had a traffic ticket in his life.
That's good. I feel like he's not a hoodlum then, right?
Now, he's about 50 years old right
He's
now.
better than me. I've had a couple parking tickets under my belt.
He's been arrested 20 times
20 for what?
and has 3 DWIs.
Oh my. Okay, no, maybe he's a little hoodlum.
Okay.
Okay, there's a story. There's a few stories.
There's a bunch of stories with him.
So yeah, sometimes it can be, like, and I get it, but see, like, my boyfriend Tyler, he is covered in tattoos. He has his whole front done, way more covered than me, and he's like the most well-behaved person ever. Like, the worst he's ever done is like when he was a teenager, he went skateboarding in a place he wasn't supposed to. Like, he's never done drugs, he's never drank, he's never gotten. I don't think he's ever gotten a ticket. Like, he is a good cookie.
Well, let me tell you what really turned the table for me. Turned the corner.
Yeah.
I had a guy call me in July. He had a model that he'd been shooting all day. But she had never shot in the studio.
Okay.
He said, can I bring her in and you shoot her this afternoon?
Yeah.
I said, sure. So he brought her in. Now, first off, she had a laugh that to me was fingernails on a chalkboard.
Oh, no.
It was terrible. And she's got these tattoos
Yeah.
on her legs, on her arms. And so I was shooting her. And I'm a guy, if you got beautiful eyes, I want to shoot you.
I'm sold. Yeah.
And I didn't even realize that she had beautiful eyes. I couldn't see past the
You
tattoos.
just kept staring. Yeah. They are distracting.
But she wanted her tattoos shot.
Right.
She had a Medusa head on a mermaid.
Ooh.
It covered her whole back.
Oh, that's so cool.
And the tail of the mermaid wrapped around to her stomach.
That's crazy.
And then she had a nun on her arm in black and white
Okay.
praying with a dove.
Ooh.
And it was fascinating.
Yeah.
And it was done so well.
It does matter how they're done and who they're done by. That's
And
yeah.
I think she told me it was 88 hours
Oh
on
my
the mermaid.
gosh. Oh, I believe it. Yeah, back pieces are forever.
And it was, Mr. Roberts was a tattoo artist.
Okay.
And I shot that tattoo, I shot her tattoos.
Yeah.
And it was, we were taking a break to smoke. And she started telling me about herself.
Yeah.
Asked her, what do you do? And she was a therapist, physical therapist,
Nice.
and lived in Waxahachie. She had moved her parents in with her
Nice.
because her dad was really sick, so she was taking care of her parents.
Sweet woman.
And so, my estimation went up to here.
You're like, oh, you're a good person. Okay.
Yes, exactly. And
You're
even though you do have tattoos.
You're funny.
And
I promise we're not all bad.
I'm slowly discovering that.
I know. It used to be different. And because I know that, like, years ago it used to be that way. Like, a bunch of delinquents and the criminals would wear, in Japan, like, they're still like that. Like, if you have tattoo, if I went there, I would get ogled at in not a good way because it's relative with criminals, with the Yakuza and stuff. So, I mean, and I understand, like, we all come from different places, but, yeah, it's just getting to know people are not all so bad.
Oh, this was before I tolerated tattoos. My mother was a very political, religious woman,
Right.
and she had some perceived health issues.
Okay.
And there was a knock at the door one day. And I opened the door, and I was like 20, 21.
Okay.
And this guy's standing there. He's older. He said, I'm here to see Miss Whitley. I guess I was staring at him. He said, oh, the tattoos. Because they had on a short sleeve shirt. It
Yeah.
had sleeves.
Yeah.
He said, I was in the Navy and made bad choices.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, a lot
He
of
said,
Army
I'm
people.
pastor so-and-so.
Right.
He was
Oh
a-
my gosh.
He was a pastor there
Oh,
to see
no.
my mom.
Just carving into that's so like ironic. I love that.
Yeah. So,
I know, yeah, because that's against like religion most of the time. Because my mom is very religious as well, and so she's not happy about them, but she tolerates them, like you said. And she only really likes my colored ones. When I say I got a new tattoo, she's like, is it a pretty one or a scary one? And I'll tell her. And depending on which side it is, she doesn't want to see it or she does. So, yeah, I get it. I mean, I've lived with it,
well, yeah.
Yeah.
Because your parents aren't as old as I am.
How old are you, David?
71.
My mom's almost there. My mom is turning 65 this year.
Oh, okay.
So they're a bit
So
older.
they're getting closer.
They're getting there. I mean, I'm not rushing it for sure, but I mean they can live forever. I hope. My mom's very old school. She's very religious. So like when I started, I mean, I wasn't even allowed to wear black nail polish. I wasn't allowed to dye my hair black. I couldn't wear black ever. So but my
You had to walk her to school, didn't you?
I actually didn't. I was a pretty good kid. I really was. I feared my parents a little bit because I was just, I have 4 older brothers. I'm the baby girl, so I was put in a bubble. So, and I didn't want to disobey my parents. I was a good kid until I was a teenager. But, but I mean, I just kept pushing it. So every time, like, I would use navy blue nail polish, and then my mom would be like, oh, that's too dark. And I'm like, no, it's blue. It's not black, it's blue. And then I just kept pushing it. I would get black. And then she let me get my ears pierced. And then I started stretching them. And she hates them. She still hates them. And I would just kept making them bigger and bigger. She goes, those look bigger. I'm like, no, they're just new. And I just kept pushing it, and eventually they got, this size, and she goes, okay, those are bigger. And I was like, yeah, they are. Like, obviously,
Yeah, about that much.
I know, right? I'm like, yeah, I can't get away with it anymore. Like, when I had my tongue pierced, same thing. Like, I was like, at one point, with something my mom said, and she was like her face just dropped. She's like, what's in your mouth? I was like, nothing.
Nothing.
I just kept pushing it, and my parents just threw up their hands. Were just like, whatever, she's just gonna keep doing it. So, but yeah.
And they said, we'll pray for you.
Yeah, literally. They still say it. Absolutely, yeah. But I'm a good cookie. I promise.
Yeah.
I behave. Now I do, anyways.
Let's talk more about your modeling.
Okay. What about it?
Well,
What you want to know?
tell everybody, not just me.
Okay, well, everybody. Well, with my modeling, I started, again, like around 4 years ago. I think I started 2020.
What got you into it?
Actually, when I was in high school, I had a friend named Marky, and she had a camera, and she was really into photography, and so we hung out all the time. And so we would just be out and about walking around, and she's like, hey, like, do you want to model for me so I can practice? I'm like, sure. So, we would just do like little mini shoots just for fun, and I never took it seriously then. I was just like, okay, yay, like being in front of a camera is fun. But then, I kind of took a break from hanging out with her, and then I had a friend, Carissa. I've known her since high school, and she's actually the Dallas Pose on Instagram. She's a photographer and model around the DFW area, and so she and I would hang out a lot. And when she started her photography journey is kind of when I started my modeling journey. So we kind of, in a way, helped each other start a little bit. Like, she would work with this man named Vu, and he would work a lot at CoverGirl.
Vu Man.
Vu Man, yeah, Cujo Photo, yeah. So I worked with Vu for like the first year of my career, and he helped me a lot. And sadly, like, we don't speak anymore, and it's bittersweet. It's sad, but it was for the best. Whatever. Sometimes you just lose touch with people, and that's okay. But I owe a lot of my like beginning skill to him, because he taught me a lot about posing and lighting and being aware of the lights and just communicating with photographers. I'm very, very thankful for him, because when Carissa and I first started shooting, we would work together, and she's like, hey, like, join me on a shoot. And so we posed together for Vu, and then he just took a liking to me, and he goes, let's shoot. So I would just shoot with him anytime he wanted to. And
I modeled for him.
did you? I have to see those. What did you shoot? Full nude. No, I'm kidding.
No. No. There's all kinds of things I can say about that, but I won't, Whitley. Am I blushing?
A little bit. Am I blushing?
No, you don't blush, do you?
I know. I just have so much. I would never blush. No, never. So what did you shoot? You just did like headshots or something for business?
No. I won't say Jack Reacher. John Wick.
Oh, that's cool.
I was John Wick.
I love that. When did you do that?
Like 3 or 4 years ago now.
Oh my gosh, I have to see those photos.
Well, one of them hanging there in the studio.
I have to go there. Yeah, after this, I'm going to go.
I'm wearing a fedora.
I love it.
And the other one, I don't know if it's at the house or up here somewhere, still in a case.
Yeah.
And it's got lots of colors on it.
I love it. Yeah, he loves like gel lights and stuff.
Yeah, he
like
did a lot of gels on that
and
one.
see, like I think, because I just recently shot gels, and I'm doing a meetup for one next month, and the photographer was Stan Fleming, yeah. And he had asked me, he was like, when's the last time you did gel shoots? And I was like, honestly, I think it was with Vu, like, because Vu did it a lot. And I think I might have done one here and there, but, like, I was like, man, it's been a long time, but I forgot how much I love it. It's just so dynamic.
I don't do gels,
Yeah.
but we have some blue RGB lights on the walls right now.
It matches.
And so I'm getting a reflection on the back of your hair of the,
I'm just glowing.
yeah, a blue.
It's perfect.
So
meant for it.
you started out with a friend.
Yeah, so then, with Carissa and everything, I moved working with Vu a lot, and he taught me a bunch about posing and all that. And then I kind of just started getting, I was just doing it as a hobby for a while. And then people started saying, like, hey, like, what are your rates? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't have any. I was like, I guess I could be charging now. So I guess it's like when people started asking me what my rates were, I was like, I guess I could start making money from this. So then when I left Frescoes is when I had some savings. And so that year I really, really pushed building my clientele and my portfolio up more. And I started getting hired for meetups. So that helps a lot with networking. That's why I love hosting them, because I just want everyone to succeed. I want everyone to know everyone and everyone to just create and have fun. And so I love making meetups because I can bring new people together. It's a cheaper way for photographers to shoot multiple models, at a lower rate. The only trade-out is you have to share the space. But I've thankfully gotten really good photographers come in, and everyone's very cordial. They're very respectful of each other's time. If I'm like, hey, make sure to share, they're like, okay, and they're easy to move on. So it's been great. But that's kind of really how I started making a lot more connections. And then...
Well, I know you've done a couple of meetups at
Yeah.
the Covenant Studio.
Oh, I love doing it at Covenant because, Covenant's very affordable, and there's just so many themes, and y'all have so many props at the Covenant, so it's nice to be able to mix and match things, and because I love using props. Props really tell stories. You can be pretty all day long, but you run out of poses eventually, so having props to interact with really, really heightens a photo. So I love working here, and it's so close to my house.
We have a lot of props.
I know, I love it. The prop room makes me so happy.
What did you think of our new prop?
Which one? Oh, the cage?
Yeah.
It's so cool. Whenever I saw it, I was a little worried because I was like, oh no, I want the metal wall for the meetup. But you said it was on wheels. I was like, perfect. And it was used a lot at this meetup. So hopefully we can get that, showcased for y'all so you can get it used more. I love it. I think it's awesome. I just like stuff that, not every studio has. So, I've seen maybe one studio with a cage, but, so it's nice to have this one. It's definitely an eye catcher.
We got it in here Thursday, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know, I had never seen one until a friend of mine called me on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Says, hey, we're cleaning out this new location we took over.
Yeah.
As a dance studio.
Oh, nice.
And they have a jail here.
Yeah. You're like, okay.
Would you like it? And he sent me pictures if it's taken apart.
Yeah.
I said, sure.
Yeah.
And I'll take anything for free just about.
I know, right? Why not? You use it for a little bit and then pass it on to the next. Yeah.
So my wife went and picked it up, and we unloaded it Thursday and put it together.
Yeah, it's huge. It's a good size.
Yeah, and it rolls.
Which is nice, and it locks too, which is also good. So we're not rolling around with it.
Right.
It was great. I really like it, and I like that. There's so many. I have worked with a jail cell once at a different studio, and it was on like you could close the door kind of, but it came off the hinges all the time. It would get stuck. It could fall on you. So I like that the Covenant one. You just kind of slide in to the bars, and then
You could be Superwoman or man and pull it apart, step in.
Exactly. That would be a cool shot, honestly. Just
Well,
no, it's really nice. I liked it. We got some really moody shots in there, so I'm excited. I like it.
well, I can't wait to see them.
I know, me too. It's gonna be good for Halloween too. I bet. I love that.
So anyway, we digress.
Oh,
What?
I do that all the time.
So you started charging.
So I did, yes. Okay, so then I did like a low rate when I first started, because I was like, I don't know what to charge people. What's the average? So I kept asking models around and stuff. Katie Edwards, whenever I met her, she is a huge inspiration. I know you did a podcast with her too, she's like one of my main inspirations here. She's just also a lovely friend. I love her to death. She's one of the sweetest girls I know.
So what are you going to do when she moves?
I don't know. I'm going to cry, probably. Hopefully she said she's coming back, but she's going to be there for 3 months and fall in love, and I'm really nervous that she's not going to come back. But, I'm just going to wish her the best. She's thriving, and that's why, she just inspires me so much, because she's younger than me, but she's been in this game for a long time. So she knows, so much about the business of it. She has a history with it, though. Since she was 12, she was a model, right? Is that what she said?
I don't know about that.
I'm pretty sure.
I met her about 5 years ago.
Really?
And to my way of thinking, and, you know, apologize in advance, Katie, if it offends. To me, she was a new model.
No.
And not because she hadn't been here before, but her skill set was that of a new model.
Well, and it could be, well, you know, I've never seen that. I feel like Katie's always been on it. But it's
Lisa
also,
started modeling at 12.
Who?
Elisa Mayo. I did a
Oh,
podcast.
yeah, they're friends too. And
Yeah.
well, and I know Katie's been doing it for a long time. And I mean, she's had confidence from the day I met her, so I could never see her like even acting new. But it is different because because it could be like a theme transition. So when I first started, I did a lot of fashion and stuff, and I was more comfortable in that. So then when I'd been in the game for about a year or so, but then when I started doing boudoir and nude, like I would come off as like a newer model. I mean, I guess I was still new at the time, but it's just because I wasn't as like comfortable with that theme.
So maybe it's a different genre
It
that
might
she
have
was
been
shooting.
the genre, yeah, because it's different. Like, I mean, your expressions are different. You know, when I do cosplay, I'm very animated. I'm very like characteristic and stuff. But when I do boudoir, you have to be very sultry and very soft and stuff. So it's definitely different for each genre. So I mean, maybe that was it. But man, I've seen her since day one. I'm just like, I want to own that confidence, that whatever she has, it's amazing. So
Well, you come off as a very confident person.
Thank you. I've definitely grown a lot throughout my life. I used to have zero confidence, but again, my boyfriend Tyler too. I'm a very emotional person, and I think emotionally, and he is everything logic. So he just does not allow me to think stupid thoughts like that, which is really, really beneficial to me, and it's helped me grow a lot and just become more confident with myself. So yeah, I just try to own it, you know. And it's funny because my real last name is King. So when I first started modeling, I just played on my name. So I said Whitley Queen. I just changed the gender of my last name, basically.
I hope you're not going to change any other gender.
I will not. Don't worry. I love being a woman, and you know, to each their own. But I'm happy the way I am. But my last name, I did switch it. So I went from Whitley King to Whitley Queen, and I felt so pretentious for so long because I was just like, you know, oh, I feel full of myself calling myself a queen and stuff. But then everyone was just like, well, if you can own it, and I'm like, fair enough. So I try to do that. I try to hold that standard to myself.
Fake it till you make it, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Yes. I literally live by that.
So, do you travel much?
Not at the moment. I really, really want to. It's just there's just so many moving parts with traveling and finding somewhere to stay and covering those costs. And then I know when you first start traveling, most of the time you have to take on a lot of trade work, which is fine because, you know, you have to make that connection wherever you go. But I'm planning a trip to LA probably in the spring. Excuse me. Because the hair dye that I use, it's called Danger Jones, and they're in LA, and I've talked about having a shoot with them before. So I'm gonna try and go out there in the spring and kind of make some connections. Sorry, I have hiccups.
Here's a solution for you.
Tell me.
When COVID happened, you know, there was a lot of photographers doing remote shooting.
Right.
You know, photographer Dave Kay, who shoots here. He did a lot of shooting models all over the world.
Yeah.
And he really loved it. And they would have, I'll call it remote mini meetups. And that would be and there's a group on Facebook for that.
Ooh, interesting. I'll have to check them out.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, please do.
And that way you can not do the traveling,
Right.
but start doing shoots with people
And
in
make
other
those
states and
connections.
areas
Yeah.
and build a reputation up. And, this is going to be a public podcast. I may give away your secret here.
Don't tell my secrets.
And then you build up a clientele, so to speak,
Yeah.
in New York or, you know, Knoxville, wherever it is.
New York is definitely on the list too. Yeah.
And probably be easier than Knoxville, Tennessee.
You think so? I feel
The
like
blue
yeah.
hair.
Oh, fair. No one wants this whole thing in Tennessee.
Not being serious.
No, I believe you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So But do that.
Yeah,
And you can do it remotely.
that's a good idea. And I have seen stuff like that before.
Do you have a camera?
I actually do. I need to kind of learn how to use it more. It's really old. It's an old camera. Because I used to want to get into photography. For the longest time, I took a photography class in high school. And I just did like landscape stuff. I loved it. But then it just kind of sat in my house for a while. And then I got on the other side of the camera, like, and I was getting pictures taken. So I was like, I like it on this side more. It's more freeing. It's more fun, But I do really like photography. So I've thought about even like picking it up to capture makeup.
That's all you have to do is have a
Yeah.
camera
Yeah,
and decent lighting
right.
and an internet connection, which who doesn't have that.
I mean, you'd be crazy without it.
And then,
Just that connection.
I forget which program a lot of people use, Canon Connect maybe.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I have that, yeah.
And so the photographer can remotely control the camera.
Oh, that's cool.
And think about that.
That's a good idea.
I get 10%.
Fair enough. For the idea, we're going to trademark it.
There you go.
No, I think that's a great idea because I've thought about going out there so many times, just traveling, but it never has happened. And the one time I tried to go to Houston, and Houston's very TFP
Houston
heavy.
sucks.
I know, I've heard that. But, there's a lot of hobbyists out there, which is fine, but they don't pay. They do a lot of trade work. And me and the other model, Shy, that I was going to go with, we just didn't have any takers, so we had to cancel. And it happened for a couple other models, too. So I was like, okay, Houston's not the move. I will try somewhere else.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I want to travel for sure. Victoria Lynn that was here, she's from Austin, and she's traveling all the time. So she and Katie and Jasmine Broughton, I hope I'm saying her name right. I honestly never hear her last name, so I don't know if I'm mispronouncing, but they travel all the time, so I'm always just like asking them questions like, what's the best way? But I've also heard that going to places, if you're worried about like having a hotel or something, like I've heard models reach out to other models that live there and be like, hey, like, do you host models? Because there's a lot of photographers, a lot of other models that host people while they travel, so I'm going to look into that too, just cut some costs. The cheaper, the better,
I'd love to talk another hour with you.
I know. We can talk forever.
We've got,
Got another girl to interview, don't you?
yeah.
I know. I'll be back, don't you worry.
Well, I hope so.
Oh, I will always. I love being here. I'm very thankful that you brought me on today.
Well, and I know you live in Burleson.
Yes. Yeah, so I'm super close. This is like the best.
Yeah.
That's why I love it here too, because it's like only 30 minutes from me. It's just, it's like, if it's under an hour, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so close because I'm always driving to Dallas. So, 30 minutes is a breeze to me. Yeah.
Well, there's a solution for that driving to Dallas.
I can't move. Don't tell me.
No.
What?
Somebody wants to shoot you, say,
Covenant.
it's Covenant Studio.
Fair enough.
Right.
Shameless plug. We're going to do it. No.
I will shamelessly plug
I
you or me or
always.
anything.
No, I love it. I know. I always tell people, I'm like, it's affordable. There's plenty of rooms. And I like that, too, that each room you have multiple sets. So there's so much stuff to work with. Oh, yeah. Anytime I try to get people to get near me, I'm like, let's just go to Covenant. It's easy.
Yeah. Well, it's a good studio.
It is. And I
And
really
versatile.
love it. I'm glad that y'all didn't, because I know you talked about getting rid of it, and I was distraught. I was hoping.
Well, I did sell it.
Well, but it's not gone. I thought it was going to be gone.
And
so,
that didn't work out, so
yeah.
I guess I get to keep doing this.
Good. Don't ever stop it.
If I do, I'll will it to you. How about that?
I'll take it. We'll figure something out. I'll make it. I'll keep it living on. I need that in writing, David.
So tell the audience how to get hold of you.
Okay, well, audience, thank you so much for joining us. I have an Instagram, Whitley, Whitley, Queen, Queen, just all together. And then I do have my Facebook. I have Whitley Queen Modeling. I have a page on there. I do have a cosplay/gaming Instagram as well if you want to check out my nerdy side. It's Whitley Queen Gaming. No spaces or periods, just all one word. And then I think that's all my main plugs. I have a Twitch, but you can find all my links on my Instagram. So if you go to Whitley Queen, I don't want to overwhelm, but all of those good things will be there.
I'm not positive, but I think you're the first model that I've interviewed that was able to give their Instagram
What do you
and
mean?
spell it correctly the first time.
I hope I know how to spell my name.
Well-
I'm doing it my whole life. I know, but you're not thinking about it, so you're like, what is it again?
Yeah, eyes roll back in the air as
You're
it goes
like,
back and forth.
Are there numbers in there? Yeah. Oh,
Whitley,
yeah.
thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you
in.
so much, David. You're wonderful.
I'll give you a kiss off camera.
Oh, okay. Don't tell anyone, though.
Yeah, especially my wife.
He won't, I swear.
Yeah, and she's right. I would. All right. Until next time, folks. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
That was